Thank you so much for joining this lesson. We shall be preparing for the Kpsea 2025 mathematics. So this is a Shifting Grades Online School, the home of academics. You're most welcome together with your friends. You can share this link with them so that they may also take part in this wonderful lesson. So we'll be looking at the signal sparks, prediction 2025. This is their third prediction. We start from number 1. A supermarket recorded sales of 7,405,296 shillings in 1 week. What is the total value of digit 7 in the amount? So you can see digit 7. Yeah. So this amount is containing digit 7. And now we're going to analyze and see what the total value of digit 7 shall be. So you're going to multiply the value of the digit with the position that it occupies. For instance, we are multiplying 7 times. Now we look at the position for 7. Let me change the color so that you may see everything well. 6 is in ones, 9 is in tens, 2 is in hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, then 4 is at hundreds of thousands, but 7 now takes the millions position. So we multiply 7 by a million. That takes us to 7 million. Therefore, C becomes the right choice in number 1. Number 2, a juice blending machine produces 2,425 bottles of juice per hour. How many bottles does it produce in 18 hours? So for every 1 hour, we are having 2,425 bottles. Then now it's going to do this for 18 consecutive hours, meaning that 2,425 should be multiplied by 18 hours so that you may know the number of bottles that will be produced. 2425 multiplied by 18. This gives me 43,650. 43,650. So now looking at the choices now, you see there is this option D, which is the most appropriate for that number. With number 3, a shopkeeper bought 23 school bags, each at 1,275 shillings. After buying them, he was left with 482 Kenya shillings in his pocket. Estimate to the nearest hundreds the total amount of money he had before buying the bags. Before buying the bags. Therefore, there are 23 school bags. Each is being sold at 1,275 Kenya shillings, meaning that the total expenditure, how much did this particular shopkeeper spend in buying? The total amount shall be, we have 23 bags, each costing 1,275. So let me check the total amount. 23 multiplied by 1275. This gives us 29,325. 29,325 Kenya shillings. This is now what the shopkeeper spent to purchase the bags. Then we are saying that he was left with 428. He was left with 428. So how much was he having originally? So originally, the total amount, we take 29 325, and we add the balance 482. So when we add the balance to that 482, we are getting 29,807. 29,807 Kenya shillings. So this is the total amount the shopkeeper was having. That is why after spending 29,325, we shall have a balance of 482. Yeah, because when you take this total, you subtract what is spent, 29,325, we are getting a balance of 482. And looking at the choices, we don't have an appropriate one. So you just write your true answer, the answer that you're getting, 29,807. Sometimes they make mistakes when coming up with the answers. So you may work out a certain question, then you discover there is no true answer out of what has been given. So you're supposed to record your right answer that you're getting. That too, 29,807. At number 4, a recipe requires 5 out of 6 of a cup of sugar. Which of the following fractions represents the same amount of sugar? We have what we call proportions. Sometimes a proportion may be unsimplified, but when we simplify, now it takes the same value as 5 over 6. So let's check out of the provided choices, which one simplifies to give us the same fraction as 5 out of 6. So 20 over 24, we can divide by 4, get 5, and by 4, we get 6. So if it simplifies to give us the same fraction, then it becomes our answer. So in number 4, A is the right answer. All right, it's also wrong to conclude on the final answer before you check whether the others are wrong, or before you check how wrong the others are. In part B, we divide by 5, this will be 3, and by 5, this will be 4. You see, 3/4, so that's wrong. In part D, we can divide by 18/1 by 18/2. It's giving us a half, so it's not the same. This one we can divide by 10/1 by 10/3. We get a third. Therefore, C, B, and D are not simplifying to give us 5 over 6. The only true answer there is part A. Number 5. Now, the football field below has a perimeter of 84 meters. What is the measure of its width? What is the measure of its width? You're supposed to be knowing how to get perimeter for different shapes. For example, when it is a rectangle like this field, we know that perimeter is usually given by 2 multiplied by length plus width. Yeah, length plus width. Let me simplify that very well. Length plus width. At this point, we can also say that perimeter equals to, we open the brackets, twice the length and also twice the width. That way we shall get perimeter. Because if it's width, it's appearing twice. If it's length, it appears twice. So we need twice length plus twice the width. Now the perimeter, which is already known as 84, shall be equal to twice the length, which is 25, plus twice the width, which is unknown. Therefore, 2W is unknown. So we have 84 equals to 50 plus twice the width. How do you remain with twice the width on that side alone? You take 84 and you subtract 50. Because when you take 50 to the left, it shall be negative. 84 minus 50 gives us 34. That is twice width. If that is twice width, then you can remain with the width by dividing through by 2. 34 divided by 2 becomes 17. Therefore, The right answer in this question is A, 17 meters. That's simple. So the basic thing here is knowing the formula that you're supposed to use in finding the perimeter of a rectangle. So that is it. We look at number 6. Now, a farmer sold 318,427 eggs in a year. Which of the following shows the number of eggs sold correctly written in figures? So we are changing now words into figures. 318,000. 318,000. So 318,000. 427. 427. So this shall be 8. Okay, 318,427. We have such an option. Yes. 318,427. Therefore, B is our right answer. Yeah, B is our right answer. Very simple, very easy to understand. Converting statements from word into figures. So that is it. We check number 7 now. Yeah, as we continue working, remember to subscribe to our platform. Remember to share so that you may invite a friend to Shifting Grades, the home of academics. Number 7, the number of candidates who registered for the entire county exams were 312, 468 boys and 298,735 girls. How many candidates registered in total? So we're having boys and girls. This one now should be addition. So you're being examined on addition. 3, 1, 2, then 4, 6, 8. That's the number for boys. And for girls, we have 2, 9, 8, 7, 3, 5. Then now we add. Let's add from the right-hand side. 8 plus 5 gives us 13. So 3, we carry 1. 6 plus 3. And the 1 that we carried, that gives us 10. So you write the 0 and you carry 1. 4 plus 7 is 11. Plus the 1 that you carried, we get 12. So 2, and we carry 1. 2 plus 8 is 10. The 1 that we had carried, it becomes 11. So 1, you carry 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. You add the 1 that you'd carried, it becomes 11 again. So 1, you carry 1. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Plus 1, you get a 6. So we'll be having 611,203 candidates for this particular examination. So the right answer that bears 611,203 is A. So in number 7, we have A as the right answer. Look at number 8. A farmer fenced a square garden whose area is 3,025 meters squared. What is the length of one side of the garden? This is about area of a squared garden. So we know that area of a square is given by side squared, or rather side times side. Side squared for area of a square. Area of a square, side times side. Therefore, we will say that the area, which is 3025, equals to S squared. If side squared equals to 3025, then for us to get side, we need to obtain the square root of 3025. We can obtain square root using factorization method. Okay, this paper is not having sufficient working space. Let me use here 3025. So we factorize 3025 we express it as a product of its prime factors. So the first prime factor is usually 2. This is not even, so we can't simplify by 2. And also 3, we can't simplify by 3. So we go directly to 5. So that 25 divided by 5 gives us 605. Then we can divide again by 5. When we divide by 5 once again, 605 becomes 121. We can't further divide by 5, but this can be divided by 11. So by 11, we get 11. These are now all prime factors. So we say 3025 is given by 5 times 5 multiplied by 11 times 11. So how do we find square root? We find square root by picking one factor out of every pair of similar factors. For example, with 5 and 5, we pick just one 5. With 11 and 11, we pick only one 11. Therefore, the square root of 3025 now is 5 multiplied by 11, giving us exactly 55. So let's check whether there is an answer like 55. You see? So number 8, part D is the right answer. And as we continue learning candidates of Kpsea, I want to invite you to our one-term ahead program. This one shall be happening over the November-December holiday, whereby we shall be covering the work of your next level. Like, if you are in grade 6, you shall get introduced to grade 7 work. So we are preparing you so that by the time you are joining your next level, you shall be one term ahead. Please join and invite your friends to this. Our number is already attached on the screen. This program shall be starting from the 20th of November to 12th of December. So even after you've done your Kpsea, we shall give you some time to relax, some time to take a breath. You visit a few cousins here and there, a few uncles and aunts here and there. Then now you come for a very serious program from 20th of November to 12th of December 2025 via Google Meet, a very interactive forum where you can ask questions, you can answer questions as we continue learning. So the term 1 work of 2026 for everybody's next level shall be handled by experts and people who know what they are doing in this profession. You are most welcome. Our consultation line is already on the board: 0704153366. So you shall interact with experts in all the learning areas. Please give us a date. Kindly try our programs. Shifting Grades is the home of academics. Nobody has ever joined us and remained the same. So please welcome for your academic transformation. We got you covered. Number 9, a school collected 7,245 shillings from grade 6 learners and 9,378 shillings from grade 7 learners to buy balls. They bought 6 balls, each costing 2,175 shillings, or rather 2,175. Now, how much money was left after the purchase? So we can check the total collections first. This school managed to collect 72.45. Sorry, trying to make my screen very stable. So 72.45. And 93.78. So we can check the total collections here. 72.45, and we add 93.78. This gives us exactly 16,623. So 16,623. This is now the total collections from the school. What about the expenditures? What was spent by the school? We are buying 6 balls. Each ball is costing 21.75. So we can check the total expenditure. How much was spent? 6 balls each, 21.75. This gives us 13,050. 13,050. So that is now the amount that was spent, meaning that we can talk about the balance now, the amount that was left or the amount that remained. So the balance shall be 16,623, and we subtract 13,050. So let's check the difference now. 16,623 minus what was spent. I'm getting 35.73. Yeah, 35.73. This makes C to be the right answer in number 9. You see that? Yeah, the right answer in number 9 that way. Number 10, Mary bought 25.75 kilograms of sugar for our family. By the end of the week, they had used 22.2 out of 5 kilograms. How much sugar was left? So this is now about subtraction of fractions. We have been given sugar in kilograms in fractions form. So the original amount of sugar that was bought is 25.75 kilograms. Then we are spending 22 as a family for Mary and 2/5. So that is what we are operating now. We are supposed to carry out this subtraction of fractions. The first thing that you do when you are subtracting fractions, more so these ones which are mixed numbers, you first convert the mixed number into improper fractions. That way, how do you convert into improper fractions? You take 4 times 25 and you add 3. 4 times 25 is 100, then plus 3. So we get 103/4. 103 out of 4. Then minus, you go to the next case, whereby you are having 5 times 22, then you add 2. 5 times 22, we get just a minute, I'm looking. Yeah. 5/22, we get 110, then we add 2. So 112 out of 5. 112 out of 5. So this is now what we are subtracting. For you to subtract fractions like this, first, identify the LCM, the greatest common multiple for the denominators, which is 4 and 5. So with 4 and 5, the LCM shall be 20. Or can we confirm that? For 4 and 5, now we are asking for space. Please understand. 4 and 5, the first prime factor is 2. So that we get 2 here and 5 here. The next prime factor is also a 2. We get 1 and 5. Then from there we get 5 to give us 1, 1. So the LCM is here. 2 times 2 times 5. 2 times 2 is 4, times 5 we get 20. So we are having 20 as the prime factor, as the LCM, that is. So we have the common denominator now of the LCM, which is 20. Then now you proceed to solve this subtraction. 20 divided by 4 gives us 5. Then times 103. And that gives us 515. Minus 20 divided by 5 gives us 4. 4 times 110. That gives us 448. That way. So here we shall have now 515 minus 448, giving us 67 out of 20. These are the kilograms that remained. This is an improper fraction, so we can make it a mixed number. Make it a mixed number, and this shall be, you divide 67 by 20. You get 3 times, because of 60, you remain with 7/20. So 3 and 7 out of 20. Do we have such an answer? 3 and 7 over 20 kilograms, making C to be the right answer for that particular case. At number 11 now. At number 11, again, a very good question. Let me clear some space here. Let me clear some space. In number 11, we are told that a Mrs. flower bed is in the shape shown below. This is a triangular shape, and we can be more specific and say that the triangle is right-angled. Yeah. So we have a right-angled triangle representing a Mrs. flower bed. What is the area of the flower bed? So we have the base length and also the height. Area of a triangular shape is usually given by half base times height. So here we talk about half times a base of 12 multiplied by a height of 9. So this shall be, we divide by 1 by 2 to get 6. 6 multiplied by 9 gives us 54. This is now square meters. We have such an area in the choices provided. Yes. So in number 11, then B becomes the right answer. That's simple. At number 12 now. Yeah, at number 12. Let's check it together. A school tank contained 1250 liters of water. If 45 liters were used every day, after how many days was the tank completely drained? Wow. A very interesting question again. This is now on division. Like every day, the school is consuming 45 liters of water. So how many days do we need to completely drain the whole tank? So we talk about 1250 and we divide by the amount being spent per day, 45. So we can simplify using common factors, like a 5 is common in both cases. So by 5, we shall get 9, and by 5, get 250. 250. Then now we can divide by 9. Yeah. 250 divided by 9. This is giving me 27 and 7 over 9. 27 and 7 over 9. This is a very wonderful question because these are nowadays. Yeah. Then with these days now, we ask ourselves, we need the number of days required to ensure that this tank is completely drained. And we are already having 27 complete days. With 27 days, we shall not completely drain the tank because we are using a maximum of 45 liters a day. So even if the 28th day shall not have 45 liters remaining, there will be some water to be used on that 28th day. Therefore, to completely drain the tank, we need 28 days because after exactly 27, look at this, after exactly 27, each day consuming 45, how much will we have spent? 27 multiplied by 45 liters. We will have spent 1215. We will have spent 1215, meaning that if we have spent 1215, the 1250 liters are not fully exhausted. So after 27 days, we will not have fully exhausted. To fully drain the tank, we shall need the 28th day. So B is the right answer in number 13. During a class, okay, sorry, before going to number 13, I want to emphasize something in that question. Assume, I want to make it a decimal, 7/9. Now assume you're having 27.77 recurring, 78 days. The answer here now, we are saying it's 28 days. Now, we are not concluding that it is 28 days. We are not concluding that it is 28 days because 7 is able to increase 27 to the next number. That is not the reason. We are not just rounding off here. We are applying logic. Ask yourself, even if it was 27.12, assume we got this 27.12 days, whereby one cannot increase 7 to 28. With this answer, we would still have gone for 27 or for 28 days. We would still have gone for 28 days. Reason being, after the 27 days, we will not have fully exhausted. We need a fraction of the 28th day. Even if it is not complete day, we need the 28th day. That is the point. So the water in this tank basically can be spent in the whole of the month of February, which has 28 days in most of the years. So even if it is for point something smaller than 5, we argue that that next day shall be needed for full consumption of the water. 13, during a class vote, 45% of learners voted for a new class governor. Express this percentage as a fraction in its simplest form. Fractions are supposed to be simplified. So 45%, percent means out of 100. So 45% means 45/100. Now this should be simplified. 45/100. What is common? By 5 we get 9, and by 5 we get 20. Now 9 and 20 cannot be simplified further. That makes option B to be the only answer in that case. 14. During a mathematics lesson, a teacher wrote the number below on a flashcard, 4.7259. Which digit is in the 10,000th place value? So when you have a decimal number, immediately after the decimal point and to the right hand side, this is usually said to be in tenths, hundredths, thousandths, then tenths of thousands. Meaning that now tenths of thousands is now 9. That way. 15. Now a farmer harvested 3,124 bags of maize, each weighing 90 kilograms. What was the total mass of his harvest? You see, we are having these bags, 31, 24. And each bag is weighing 90. So we multiply by 9 first. We shall add the 0 later. So we can multiply by 9. 4 by 9, we get 36. So 6 carry 3. 2 by 9, we get 18. 18 plus the 3 that we carried, we get 21. So 1 carry 2. 9 by 1, we get 9 plus the 2 that has been carried, we get 11. So 1 carry 1. 9 by 3, 9 by 3 gives us 27 plus 1, we get 28. Plus 1, yeah, we get 28. Then now there is the zero that we suspended here. So it will be 281,160. And we have such an option in A. So A becomes now the right answer for number 15. Look at number 16 now. A pupil jogs 4 kilometers, 75 meters every morning. How many meters does he cover? This is about now additions of units, and also it's about unit conversion, because partly this distance is in kilometers. So we convert the kilometers to meters. And by saying this, that 1 kilometer has 1,000 meters. You know, even from the language itself of 1 kilometer, we can directly conclude the number of meters in this particular distance. 1 kilometer is 1,000. The word K, the word kilometer, small letter K means kilo. Small letter K means kilo. You should be able to know that in math or in science generally. Kilo, small letter K, symbolizes 1,000 items. This one symbolizes 1,000 items generally. That's why locally, even when somebody is asking 1,000 from you, they'll tell you they need 1K. The K in that language is an abbreviation for the word kilo. That means 1,000 items. That's why even if we talk about kilograms, it means 1,000 grams. So when we also talk about kilometers, it means 1,000 meters. So if 1 kilometer has 1,000 meters, then what about 4 of them? Each kilometer coming with 1,000 meters. So how many meters shall we have in general? 4 by 1,000, we get 4,000 meters. So the distance that he walks now, this pupil walks 4,000 every morning. That is meters after conversion, and 75. So this is 5,704. 4,075 meters. 4,075, making D to be the right option or the only answer for that case. Number 17 now. And you guys, are you subscribing to Shifting Grades? Are you inviting friends to this particular program? Have you ever referred somebody? I know you guys are benefiting from this, but is it good for you to benefit alone? Not really. So please invite a friend, share with a classmate, share with even a friend who is in a different school from yours. Let them know about this particular program, which is very good. And as you discuss about this YouTube program, let them know that for the holidays, we are planning to occupy you in a very serious way, whereby people will be introduced to the work for their next level through a very interactive forum, Google Meet, whereby there now you can ask questions, you can answer questions, you can seek for clarification. From the 20th of November, that's after you've taken a breath, of course, from now, the national exams, which are very consuming, all the way to the 12th December 2025. So after 12th December, again, we shall release you now for the December celebrations. But in between, for 5 good weeks, we are inviting you to our programs. Kindly reach out through the number attached so that you may get to know more about what we are doing there. 0704 15 3366. That's our number. Please reach out. You can WhatsApp, you can call, you can text. 17. One day, a shopkeeper sold 521 apples. On the next day, he sold 621 apples. On the third day, or on day 3, he sold 721 apples. And on the day 4, he sold 821 apples. If this pattern continued, how many apples did he sell on the 6th day? That is, if this pattern continued. The condition is if the pattern continues. So from 521 on the first day, we are going to 621. The number has increased by, the number of apples sold has increased by 100 to 621. Then on the third day, that's day 3, we have 721. Again, an increment of 100. In the fourth day, we are having an increment of 100, 821. That means on the fifth day, day 5, we shall have 921 because the increase, there is a pattern of increasing by 100 in every subsequent day. From 521, we went to 621. We are now at 721, 821, meaning that the fifth day, this is day 5, day 5, day 4, day 3. Let me write well. This is day 3, day 2, and day 1. Look at that order, increasing by 100 from every subsequent day, meaning that if this trend continues now, we have to take 921 and we add 100 for us to know the number of apples to be sold on the sixth day. So 6. So on the sixth day, now we shall have 1021, or rather 1021 apples. We have such an option out of the given. Yeah, B carries that value. So B is the right answer in number 17. Look at number 18. Now, a circular loan is represented by the figure below. Yeah. Determine the area of the loan in square units. So let us look at the area here. We are already having some divisions here, whereby it's square units. When you look at square units. So we use what you call the counting technique. How much is this particular circular loan occupying? So we are supposed to count the full units first. So let's count full units. How many are they? The full units on which it rests. This is one. This is one. Sorry. Let me count them. I want to count as you see. Let me not enlarge so much. This is a 1, it's full. 2, 3, 4. So the full ones are 4, if you can observe keenly. The full ones are 4. Then now, the ones which have been partially occupied, we multiply by half. The ones that have been partially occupied, we multiply by half. So the partial ones, the partial units, multiply their number by half. Therefore, it shall be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 of them. But now we multiply by half. We approximate there. We estimate. We assume each, even if they are not exactly half of a unit, we assume that they are occupying half. So 12 multiplied by half becomes 6. So now we can talk about total area, which is 4 complete plus 6. This is giving us 10 square units. So the area is 10 square units. Yeah, 10 square units. That will. You know, if you are crazy in math, you can try some other attempts. Like you can say that let me check something here. Number 18, let me check something here. You can do this, In number 6, you can say that you can check, because it is a circular shape, and a circle usually has a formula to find its area. We all know that. There is a formula for the area in a circular object. Therefore, we can talk of the radius of this particular. How many units are giving us the the area. So we are having from this point, just identifying the diameter. That's the diameter. Or rather, we can even check the center. Sorry. We can even check the center. Sorry, my screen is unstable because it has really been working for very many hours today. So understand when it is tries to misbehave. Look at that circle. From the center, how many units is it having? We have a radius of 2 units. A radius of 2 units. How do we get area? Area is usually given by pi r squared. So what is the value of pi? 3.14 or 142. In primary, you'll be given up to 2 decimal places multiplied by 2 squared means times 2 again. So 3.14 times 2 times 2. This gives us 12.56. 12.56. Yeah, 12.56. But you see now they didn't provide a choice like that one. That can be a very good approach. If you overthink like me, you'll find yourself working out such methods. So we stick to the first working, the counting technique only. Yeah, the counting technique. There is an inequality in number 19. Solve the inequality 9m minus 1 plus 6m greater than 29. So we solve an inequality just like a linear equation where you group terms together. Like this is a 9 and this is 6m. So 9 plus 6 will get 15m. Then minus 1 should be taken to the right where it shall become positive 29 plus 1, giving us 30. How do you remain with m? To remain with m, you divide through by 15 because we have 15m. You divide by 15 and this becomes 2. So m is greater than 2, making A the right answer. Making A the right answer like that. Number 20. A pupil's mass is 8.467 kilograms. Round off this mass to the nearest hundredths. That means when you see the TH introduced, it means we are looking at the decimal points part, the right hand side of the decimal point. Therefore, this is tenths, this is hundredths. Now you ask yourself, is the next digit able to increase 6 to the next value? If it is a 5 or more, it is able to increase. Therefore, it shall be 8.4 and 6 is increased to 7. Therefore, B becomes our value. In case it was 8.46, then a 3 like that, 3 cannot increase 6, so it would have remained 8.46. But now that the number here is a 7, it can increase the 6 into a 7. That too. So B is our right answer in that case. Number 21. A farmer has 2 flocks of sheep, one with 12 sheep, the other with 18 sheep. He wants to merge them into equal groups. What is the largest possible number of sheep he can have in each group? The largest number that he can have. So different flocks, and he wants to group them into equal groups. So dividing 12 and 18 into equal groups, and we want, look at the word here, the largest. The largest can also mean greatest. And when you see such a language of greatest, then it means we need the greatest common divisor. Which number can divide both 12 and 18 without reminders? It is the GCD of the two numbers. So when you see the word largest or greatest, we are looking for GCD. In case you're doing a question like this and you see the word the least or the smallest, we are looking at the least common multiple, which is LCM. With 12 and 18, we can check the greatest common divisor. 2 exists between them, 6 and 9. 2 cannot go again because 9 cannot be divided by 2, but 3 can. Yeah, 3 can, whereby this becomes 2 and this becomes 3. Now, with the 2 and 3, we cannot have a common multiple anymore. So 2 times 3 is 6. What is the largest possible number of sheep you can have in each group? The largest should be 6. Yeah, 6. That way. So we find the GCD. Look at number 22, ladies and gentlemen. A mathematics teacher displayed a chart with the shapes below in a classroom wall. Which of the shapes was not a three-dimensional object? Now, a three-dimensional object is an object where we can find volume, not just area or length. Three-dimensional means its volume can be obtained. It's a solid with, it's an object which you can hold, not just a surface or a length. Therefore, we can eliminate B. It is not a three-dimensional object. That too. So C is eliminated. Look at the cylinder here. We can find volume. You can see there is a third dimension. You can see the other side of the cylinder. Look at a cube in part C and look at a sphere. So this is a cylinder. In part A, that's just a cylinder. Sorry for the interruptions. That's just a cylinder, three-dimensional. We can find volume of a cylinder. This is a cube. It has 3 dimensions. We can talk about length, width, height, like that. This one is called a sphere. A ball is spherical. So it has 3 dimensions. We can find volume of a spherical object, like that. But this one, the oval shape, is only in 2 dimensions. We can only find the area and nothing much. Yeah, we continue. Number 23. We are almost winding up. What is the volume of the rectangular tank below? Volume. We need to talk about the uniform cross-section area, then we multiply by the height. So we have a base area of 50 and 90. Then a uniform height of 40. So we talk about volume being given by length times width times height in a cuboid shape like this one. So 50 multiplied by 90 multiplied by 40. What does this give us? We multiply 5 by 9 by 4. Then we remember the 3 zeros. 5 times 9 times 4. That gives us 180. Then now we remember the 3 zeros now. This is equal to cubic centimeters. So 180,000. Yeah, 180,000 like that. In number 23. Look at 24. Just look at 24. What is the value of the angle labeled D in the figure shown below? So in this particular figure, which is triangular in shape, we are supposed to ask ourselves, are we aware of the sum of the interior angles in a rectangle, in a triangle, sorry? It's a triangle, three-sided triangular. So in a triangular shape, what is the sum of the interior angles? It is usually 180. So we say, when we take 40, I'm sorry, let me write it well. When we take 40, one of the angles, and we add the other angle, which is 60 there, then we add the unknown angle, which is D, we are supposed to get 180, like that. So this is 100 plus D should give us 180. How do we remain with D? We take 180 and we subtract 100. This gives us exactly 80 as our value of D. So D is 80 degrees. A becoming the right answer for that case. 25. A soda bottle contains 3,600 cubic centimeters of soda. How many milliliters of soda are this? This is again about unit conversions. Unit conversions. So we check milliliters, that is a ml, and liters. We check the relationship. So that is what we're supposed to check. So we're supposed to know that. We're supposed to know that one, sorry, 1 cubic centimeter is equals to 1 ml. Actually, even in the labeling of some of the lab apparatus like volumetric flasks, like a burette, we can talk of, it can be indicated, those apparatus that measure volume in the lab, they can be labeled or calibrated in either cubic centimeters of volume or ml, milliliters. So a milliliter equals to a cubic centimeter. Yeah, a milliliter equals to cubic centimeter. And therefore, we will say now, if the cubic centimeters are equal to 3600, then the ml will also be the same, making B the right answer. 26. Aha. This is an interesting question. Revival church prayers began in the evening at the time shown in the digital clock below. So we have the digital clock displaying the time, 7:45. Now that we've been advised that it is in the evening, then it means this is 7:45 p.m. Yeah. At what time did the prayers begin in 24-hour clock system? In the 24-hour clock system, when time is beyond noon, we usually add 12. When time is beyond noon, we usually add 12 for us to know the time in 24-hour clock system. This means that you are supposed to check keenly. We are talking about evening. Is evening beyond noon? Yes, evening is beyond noon. Therefore, this is now 7:45 and we add 12:00 hours. This gives us 19:45. Sorry, let me display it well. This gives us 19:45 without any comma anywhere. 19:45 hours. 19:45 hours. Do we have 19:45? Yes, here. In case time is before noon, assume this was morning. We just write it the way it is. But if it is 10, if it is 7:45, now we start with a 7:45 hours. This now would have been correct if it was in the morning. But now that it is in evening, that's after noon. That's beyond noon. In other words, we have to add 12 for us to get the time in 24-hour clock system. Looking at number 27 now, a lorry carries 2 tons, 350 kilograms of maize in one trip. How many kilograms of maize will it carry in 4 similar trips? So kilograms. So we mean here, you can convert first the units into kilograms by saying 1 ton equals to 1,000 kilogram. Meaning that when the tons are 2, now it's 2 times 1,000 because each ton is coming with 1,000. So 2000 kg. Then, and what? It was 2,350. So you see, so we have 2350 kilograms in one trip. So for this lorry, one trip has 2350 kg. What about four such trips? When the trips are four, you multiply by four. 0, 4 times 0 is 0. Then 4 by 5 is 20. So you write a 0 and you carry 2. 4 times 3, we get 12. Plus 2, 14. You carry 1. 4 by 2, you get 8 plus 1, you get 9. So 9400 kilograms. 9400 kilograms of maize for 4 trips. Yeah, for 4 trips, like that. At number 28, now a grade 6 learner was given 1,000 by a parent to do weekend shopping. She bought the following items: 2 loaves of bread at 60 each, 1 packet of sugar for 220 Kenya shillings, 3 liters of milk at 70 Kenya shillings per liter. How much money did she remain with after the shopping? So let's look at this bill. This is the preparation of bills. 2 loaves and each is 60. So from breads, we have 2 by 60. That she spent 120, or E. Did she? Yeah, it's she. Sorry, it's a girl. 120 shillings from bread. Then 1 times 220, that gives us 220 for sugar. Then 3 liters and 70 each, giving us 210 when you multiply. So we will have 120 and we add 220, then we add 210. This gives us 550. 550. So 550 is the bill, total bill. Then after this, now we talk about the balance that remained. So we take 1,000 that she was given and we subtract the total bill of 550, giving us 0, 5, and 4. 450 Kenya shillings. That is what she remained with. That was the balance, in other words. Mhm. This is now for number 29 and 30. The bar graph below shows the number of different types of vehicles in a parking lot. Use it to answer questions 29 and 30. So we have the vehicles represented, the number of vehicles represented in a parking lot. We have cars. You see the bar representing cars is very long. Then we have buses, lorries, vans, pickups, and minibuses. 29. How many more cars than buses are there in the parking lot? More cars than buses. It means cars are more than buses. So how many cars are there? Let's check the number of cars. The number of cars is exactly 15. Then what about the number of buses? Let's check the number of buses. The number of buses, you check the buses over here. So there are only 5. Along that, we have 5 there. We say the cars here, the bar for cars is going up to 15. So you just interpret the bar like that, depending on the height of the bar. So how many more cars than buses? We subtract these. This gives us 10. So we have 10 more cars than buses in this particular parking lot, making B the right answer in number 29. Number 30. What is the total number of vehicles in the parking lot? What is the total number of vehicles in the parking lot? Total number now means for cars, we add 15 of them. We have read that buses are 5. What about lorries? We extract all the values now. What about vans? We check all the vans. What about pickups, then minibuses? Pickups, then minibuses. So we read the number of lorries. Lorries are here equal to buses, 5. What about vans? We check the bar for vans is raising up to 10. Yeah. So vans are 10. We proceed to pickups. Pickups are equal to buses and lorries. This is a 5. So for pickups, we are raising up to 5. So we have 5 of them. Then for the minibuses, we are going up to this level, which is 10. 10 of them. What is the total now? We add 15 plus 5, 20, plus 5, 25, plus 10, 35, plus 5, 40, plus 10, 50. So we have 50 vehicles in this particular parking lot. That's how you handle the math paper. Very simple, well elaborated. Kindly, in case you didn't understand any question, you can visit us through our number, which is already attached on the board, 0704 15 3366. This is Teacher Boniface, the facilitator of Shifting Grades Online School, the home of academics. Thank you for following up. Subscribe and share to invite a friend later.